writer?
Alan initially wrote the idea, so I guess...
How the idea came about, literally, was me walking past the local primary school and realising that actually there weren't many school monitors in the playgrounds, which I compared to when I was a kid. There were tons of school monitors, we forever being kind of, stay away from the fence, don't talk to any strangers, blah, blah, blah. But in this particular school, there were maybe 2 school monitors. And I thought, I wonder how teachers, or more specifically the monitors, would deal with an unwanted stranger at the gates of the school. And then the story just sort of grew from that, pretty much, through just genuine kind of like how fiction is made, really.
I'm Gavin. I'm the producer.
Ryan, director.
I'm Mikey, the writer.
And the story?
Well, it was an original idea from Ryan's, who got an anecdote of a guy who worked on an oil rig, who the guy, when asked about spooky stories or accidents that happened on the rig, came back with the story of a man who didn't go completely ballistic, but believed that they had drilled through to hell. And right there we had the premise of our story. What if an oil rig drilled all the way down to hell, and what would happen to the people on board? And throughout the whole sort of process of working on it, we've tried very hard to just stick to that original concept and keep it to something as simple as that.
The initial budget is £7,000, and we've been trying to fundraise to get. We have got £7,000. With regards to the actual budget being over budget and under budget, I think at the moment we're bang on target and we're fine. And I reckon that by the end of the film we'll be over budget, so we'll need more income, which is why we set up stuff like Kickstarter.
Primarily, we've asked everyone in our group to contribute what they can. A lot of it coming from just a few people, and then we did have an Indiegogo campaign, which I think you're about to ask me about anyway. And so most of it came from our group, really, or from just contributions from the group.
Pretty generous family donations.
Yeah,
It's been very helpful.
The rule of thumb for any film budget setting out is just beg, borrow and steal. So wherever and whoever you can get it from, ask around and be polite. And you'd be surprised at how many people can say, oh yeah, I've got 20 quid to spare, they can just throw it away and you have a look around with your friends and your family. Be amazed at the amount you can come up with.
Absolutely.
I mean, the most successful method of raising that £5,000 was to go to our individual bank accounts and draw money and then put it in ourselves out of our own pockets. But in regards to fundraising, I mean...
I think what works, we personally, it was Ben Cowan who did our Kickstarter and who set up the page and set up a website, and I think what's really important is, if you can, and especially if you're a bigger project, to try and get out there as much as you can. So what Ben's been doing is he's been contacting bloggers, he's been contacting other websites and other people to say, hey, get on board, even before everything was up, emailing them way in advance and saying, hey guys, this is who we are, this is what we're going to be doing, check us out when we're ready and have a look. And I think that's how you create more publicity in general anyway. And then word of mouth, and then the whole thing, sadly when you're a smaller project and on lower budgets anyway, it goes via family and friends. It's all about spreading about social networks.
The most successful method for us has been to do that, really, to ask our families, ask ourselves, like how much we kind of want to put in, because you get more that way and it's quicker and it's more reliable than hoping other people will find your story interesting online, things like that. I picked Indiegogo because it's kind of known as the biggest platform for fundraising. In hindsight, maybe not the best, just because they take a cut, and there are some websites that don't take a cut now. We've realised that, but we thought it would be a good idea getting that right. Turns out Indiegogo didn't really help us.
Everything from pre-production to production to post-production. So from the very start, originally it would go to our script and ask, hey, but originally that will go to us doing recce's, travelling everywhere, paying for petrol, having a look around and trying to find the right location, to then actually paying for that location, paying for the use of electricity, for example, for the school that we're working in. And then things like auditions. Auditions rack up a huge amount of costs, which we would never believe. So again, travel. travel is so huge in costs, ridiculously huge, and then everything else just comes with it, absolutely everything. So that's what we need our money for as well. The £2,000 raised in particular is also going to the Creature, where we've paid a prosthetics artist to help us out with it, because he knows what he's doing.
To make a film on an offshore oil rig with all this ensemble of characters, and we're making that for like £6 to £7 grand. If we manage to accomplish that, I think it's more to a testament of our skills as filmmakers than it is. Yeah, we had £50 to make it. 6,000 to 7,000 is a challenge, but one that we're willing to take.
I think websites like Indiegogo you should never rely on them, because there's no telling who's going to pick it up. I mean, maybe somewhere out there's a millionaire who's just sitting there scanning, and your one jumps out at him and he donates you a huge amount of money and makes your film. That you've got to start a system like that, bearing in mind you've already got the budget you need yourself, and think, well, if we make any extra off this, how's it going to benefit us?
I think any platform, any site would have worked. I'm pretty sure it would. I mean, sorry, one more thing about Kickstarter is actually what we like is that you don't have to have a PayPal account. And that was the main thing which has put me off fundraising in the past. And it's a pure laziness thing, and it's a psychological thing where people like one click of a button instead of 3 and having to set up PayPal where you don't have. So that's one reason why we actually originally went with Kickstarter, because it's easy. And I think that might be the only thing that would have put anyone else off donating. Other than that, I think it's worked really well. It's a fantastic idea, and if you do it properly and you do it well, then it works really.
Yeah, I think it was a bit disappointing, the whole kind of crowdfunding campaign. I mean, it's funny when you kind of talk about crowdfunding as a crowd of people, but the people that end up seeing it are only shared around a few people's Facebook friends. So it's the same people that are seeing it, and you've got to be really kind of hopeful that people that you know are going to go, actually, I'll share it around, but that very rarely happens. And I think a lot of groups that have raised a lot of money through Indiegogo, it's been a great place for their family to put money into the film. I mean, we kind of went a different route, and I mean, if we were to do it over again, I think we'd probably do something like Kickstarter, or because you kind of get lost amidst the mass of Indiegogo, and there's so many thousands upon thousands of projects on there. It's kind of hard to stand out. And when we have stood out, it's always been a great story, but I can't really give you any money.
I mean, public in general, we've got great responses about the story, but not such great responses with actual cash, really. And that's what it boils down to, isn't it?
I mean, it doesn't help that we've picked the one location probably in the world where you're not actually allowed to go. Like, to get on one it's impossible. But I think the public's response to the story was great, but I think a lot of people were confused how they could help. Like, not just the money, but we can't ask people to help out with getting us onto a rig. It's not going to help, but if we needed a room somewhere, like a classroom or a hall, it's easy to find. So we've had to be very kind of proactive in finding other ways to kind of tell the story.
I mean, to answer the question about do we owe it to Kickstarter, is this what Alan just said about putting the effort in? And I think with any of the crowdfunding websites, if you put the effort in, you can achieve your overall goal. Because I mean, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, these are just platforms.
They're just tools, just like a camera is a tool, and you get out of it how you use it and what you put into it. It's a pretty good website. If you're watching, better give us some money.
Very fortunately, once again, a whole slew of the most incredibly talented films that prove that despite Europe's economic wintry climate, British filmmaking is still the talk of the town, and the films here tonight are films that any nation would be proud of having produced.